We have this impulse to take messy, chaotic human experiences and pin them down like beetles in a cabinet. Psychological labeling provides a sense of containment. We put Cain in a jar marked anger and Job in one marked grief, hoping to control the pain. We pull theological levers to assign a neat, hidden meaning to random suffering. We want the universe to feel orderly and intentional. When that fails, we trio pain like a boulder we just need to push up the hill of self-improvement, an exhausting cycle of trying to outrun the wound. But when true catastrophic trauma hits, all these systems and levers shatter. They cannot contain the actual human experience. This intellectual shift reveals an archive of people moving toward and away from one another. These relational movements create a kind of human weather, the unpredictable current of ruach, the breath or spirit that shifts the atmosphere of a room. Because this weather involves the high-stakes reality of trauma, the work requires a firm gate, specific consent, and a visible exit. The sufferer must never feel trapped inside the interpretation. This methodology asks piercing, contemplative questions. It allows the text to remain foreign rather than domesticating it with a quick answer. Reading these ancient stories requires us to abandon the instinct to cure the weather. We are learning the discipline of witnessing it. King Solomon attempted to solve the human condition through aggressive accumulation and logic. He tested extreme pleasure, gathered infinite wealth, and acquired supreme wisdom. He demanded that life add up to a permanent, secure total. He discovered that pleasure made into an experiment becomes an encounter. Solomon realizes that existence and human joy cannot be possessed or hoarded. This accounting ledger continually runs into the Hebrew word hevel. Most translations say vanity, but it actually means vapor. Hevel is vapor that fades even as it is experienced. It is a reality that we cannot place in a vault. Solomon's ledger shows that the ache of existence stems from overreach, the demand that finite passing pleasures close an infinite account. In the land of Job, we find an attempt to fix catastrophic suffering with perfectly sound theological doctrine. Initially, Job's friends respond correctly to his profound loss. They sit with him in the dirt for 7 days and 7 nights in complete silence, witnessing the pain without attempting to explain it. The overreach begins when they shift toward explanations. Job's story installs an epistemic break, the rule that a cause cannot be inferred from a symptom. A perfectly accurate map fails when the people holding it cannot receive the person right in front of them. Job compares their doctrines to a winter wadi, a riverbed that looks beautiful and full during the cold months, but when a thirsty caravan arrives in the heat of summer, the channel is dry. Job requires chesed, the loyal presence that stays with a person through cost, completely independent of abstract truth. An accurate theological map is useless to a person who is drowning. A correct diagnosis offers a starting point, but it provides no final repair for the wound. When the burden cannot be removed, the cycle of futile effort continues. Reading a life from above allows the events to remain exactly as they are, but the life becomes readable from a new register, a viewpoint no longer imprisoned within the old measurement. The contemplative window requires leaving the unresolved seam of pain visible. We resist the urge to hide it or diagnose it away. Sufferers must be allowed to hold contradictory truths, like Job swearing an oath by the very God who wounded him, without an observer stepping in to correct their logic. True witnessing refuses to force a happy ending. It allows the raw, untranslatable pain of the text to stand on its own. This work requires abandoning false systems. We drop the jars of psychological labeling and step away from the theological levers of meaning. We keep the door open. We maintain an environment of consent rather than forced exposure for the sufferer. Naming a problem correctly creates a point of entry for a conversation. It allows a dialogue to begin, but falls short of providing a home or a final cure for the pain. When you are encountering real human suffering, avoid praising the intellectual beauty of a dry riverbed. Simply bring water.